Hi, this is Emily. I know of T Girl Angel, and I think it's important to try to express to people, especially young kids, teenagers, kids going through some turmoil in their lives, that it's okay to have differences uh, where you can't fit in or feel like you relate. There's nothing wrong with identifying differently. Um, there's nothing wrong with you. You're a precious person. And you should realize that um, we all are here to live our lives and enjoy life and do what we feel is right for us. And life is never perfect, and it can never be perfect. You have to remember that you're a person and you have feelings and you are important. And life can be troublesome at times, and we just don't know where we will wind up. But the reality of living is that we will always encounter um, struggle. We will always encounter problems. Uh, Life is filled with problems. You know, it's not about math problems always, though math is an important part of our life, and solving problems is a very important part of mathematics, as we all know. Um, but we have to sometimes go a step beyond the everyday life and realize that there's more to it. And we have to realize that we should never let something bring us down to the point where we don't want to live anymore. There's no need to get to that point in your life. And if you are at that point where you feel you don't want to go on, you're picked on, you're bullied, you're teased, um, you have to rise above it. You have to be strong. You have to put the emphasis on you and never let anybody tell you who you are, how you should live, and what you should be. You know who you are. You know where you want to go in your life. And you should never let anybody tell you otherwise. You have to be strong and you have to believe in yourself. And you need help. Nobody can do it alone. Nobody. You have to have faith, and you have to know that there is someone out there that you can reach out to for help. And if you ever need to reach someone, there's always 911. There's always the national hotline for suicide prevention. There's many avenues you can take. Uh, Even in the schools, you need to speak to a counselor. In your church, maybe someone who you trust, or a temple. But you need to find someone, even your mom or your dad, or, or a sister, or a brother, or a close friend. You can't do it alone. Now, I did not come out to anybody in my life when I was a kid. I lived in secrecy. I lived a sheltered life. I was a loner. I was depressed. And I have a story that I would like to share to show how important it is to have someone in your life that can help you. I am transgender, male to female. This is me as a little baby, Edward Eddie. This is me with my mom and my sister when I was 3 years old. I knew at that age that I was, in fact, a girl. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell my mother or my father. But I knew at that young age, at 3 years old, that I was a girl. And I lived in secrecy. I lived in pain. I cried a lot. At times I wanted to die. I couldn't understand why I was the way I was. And I even attempted suicide. But I came to realize that we all are special and that we need to live our life. Life is precious. It's a gift. We can never get back what we take away. You know, there are people, sadly, who do commit suicide. I know, having lost both my parents to suicide. I lost my mother, God rest her soul, when she was 50. She refused to eat, she gave up, she lost her will to live, and she starved herself under doctor's watch in the hospital. And I lost my dad. My mom I lost many years now, since 1990. So that's a long time ago. And then I lost my dad in 2009 to suicide also. He sadly jumped in front of a train and was killed instantly. But I've struggled with that, and I have to live with that. And I can't change that. But that's part of life. We all have to deal with things. We all have to find the strength to cope. When I was 16 years old, I had a plan. I was at the point where I wanted to kill myself. I even was writing my letter, my suicide note, whatever you want to call it. And I planned that I was going to overdose on pills. I was going to do it on the weekend after the school week. And something happened. I don't know what you call it, maybe a miracle. On Friday, the day before I planned to do this, I was on the lunch line at my school, high school, And a kind teacher approached me on the lunch line, and he said, "I want you to run for my team." And I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, I want you to be a part of my cross-country team." And I said, "But I don't run." And he said, "That's okay. But I will teach you." And he believed in me. He believed in me. And I needed that. I needed someone to believe that I could do something. His coming up to me and expressing he wanted me to be a part of his team gave me hope. And it made me realize that I was somebody, that I could do something, that I was meant for a purpose. And he taught me how to run. And I met friends, and I became a part of a team. I was no longer alone. I didn't have to be alone anymore. I belonged to a team. Despite my feelings, my pain, I had somebody on my side who was there for me. And he believed in me. And he took me under his wing. And he taught me a valuable lesson about life. How important it is to do something with your life and to try. We all have to try. We can't give up. There's no need to give up. We're all precious. We all have a purpose. We have a reason to live. He was someone who came into my life and helped me through a very difficult time. And I will never forget that for as long as I live. He made a tremendous impact. And I made friends. And I learned the ropes about how to push yourself and how to do something valuable. He taught me life lessons. And he was a positive influence in my life. My parents were always a positive influence, but they had responsibilities. Whereas my coach, he dedicated his time to teaching and also to helping others, and especially youth. And he was there. He was my friend. He became my friend. Not only my coach and my mentor, but my friend. And I'm truly grateful. There's no price you can put on that. It's something that I can never forget. And I'm still friends with my coach to this day. And he knows about my transition, and he's fully supporting